Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, the young gunslinger Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs do battle with Big Ben Roethlisberger, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. With that, we're off to Pittsburgh for the home opener. On the call, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Moments ago, a scene that's played here since 2004. Big Ben Roethlisberger greeted by this sold-out Heinz Field crowd. His Steelers getting set to match up with the Kansas City Chiefs. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Chiefs, they come off a good win in the opener on the road, and they get a second road game here.
Yeah, the schedule makers didn't really do them any favors, but if they can win here and get to 2-0 on the road, they could be well set up for the rest of the year.
The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here come the Chiefs for their opening drive. Bringing them out is the second-year man, Patrick Mahomes, taking over for Alex Smith here in 2018 as the KC starter.
I think it's going to be a lot of fun to see how they bring him along. You know, a lot of people say, well, do you have some training wheels on a young quarterback? But Patrick Mahomes is at his best when he's a little bit more of a freewheeling guy who can use his big arm to get the ball downfield. I suspect the Chiefs are going to lean towards letting him go.
They'll begin the drive with Hunt. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They'll run it now out of the gun. The numbers on the ground for Hunt a week ago. 25 carries, 101 yards.
So coming off the opener where they established the run and established it well, their goal is to make sure that the trend continues and to serve notice to the rest of the league that they might be a run-first team. And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. We take a glance now at the starters on the defensive side of the ball for Pittsburgh. They come into this one ranked number 17, so just starting the bottom half of the league against the pass.
Definitely going to need to be physical with these receivers, whether that's right at the line of scrimmage trying to jam them and bump them off their routes, or when the ball arrives and you go ahead and put your shoulder into them and try and knock it loose.
Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. It's complete to Chris Conley. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Play action. Now it's Mahomes. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Sean Davis with a pick. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Ready? Blue 30.
Now a carry for the former Michigan State man, Le'Veon Bell. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. The linebacker, Anthony Hitchens, there on the stop.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up.
Delay of game, offense.
Now the play clock hits 0 here, and we're going to get a delay.
Still 2nd down.
Blue 30. 40 seconds. Blue 30 seconds.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. And that's incomplete. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target. And now it's 3rd down.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off.
Like 30.
Now Ben on 3rd and long. He gets it to Brown, complete. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a 1st down.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Here we go. Set. Blue 30. Blue 30.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And this is going to be caught. No, they say it's incomplete. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete.
Offense.
Now let's see who this is on. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. This is Bell on the dump off. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. For the sideline, and he will have the 1st down as he was able to keep the feet in bounds. Roethlisberger hooking up with Brown to get the Steelers a 1st. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
And not much running room. Down to the 32. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over. Congratulations to James Washington. That's his first touchdown in the NFL. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. So that's the rookie's first trip to the end zone, and I think it's safe to say one he'll always remember.
Oh, without a doubt. That one is going to be imprinted forever. And nowadays, we're seeing rookies make a greater impact at that position at receiver than ever before. I think mainly because of the sheer volume of footballs that they catch in college.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. Boswell good with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity. And that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week. And right now, we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Now Mahomes on the bootleg. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. This Pittsburgh defense always keeping the offensive line on their toes, or I guess on their heels and back.
They are certainly about pressure, aren't they? At 56 sacks as a unit in 2017, which led the NFL. They certainly live up to their nickname, which is Blitzburg.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that's going to make it 4th down. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
Here's Bell, and he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. We see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. 1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 11.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
On third down, Roethlisberger. He's going to wind up and air it out. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. A big play on third there for the Steelers. 51 yards. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, brings me right out of my seat.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Set. Black 20.
Now Roethlisberger going to hand to Bell. Bell a first down and then some. And he gets it all the way down to the 3. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal. But Charles, Le'Veon Bell, 26 going on 27, and the shelf life of these NFL running backs seems to be getting shorter and shorter. How long can he go at this torrid pace?
Usually we say 30 is kind of the line of demarcation for a running back. But Le'Veon Bell played all 16 games in 2017, takes great care of himself off the field. I think he's got a chance to break through that 30-year-old mark, and in a big way.
Delay of game, offense.
So offense moving a little too slow there, could not get set, and
Still
they get the penalty. The delay of game, a costly one, as they're backed up 5 for 1st and goal. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And that one's going to be over everybody in the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. That'll bring up 2nd down.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
The Steelers on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. 2 first-quarter touchdown passes now for Ben Roethlisberger. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. And man, Charles, talk about singing something in there. And those gloves, they help with one-handed catches, the fun stuff. Any padding for a rocket like that?
One would think so, but I'll guarantee you this. After that throw, his hands will hurt later. Not right now in the moment. He's just feeling good about catching it.
Yeah, a little stinger, but a touchdown. Extra point put through by Boswell. And it's now 14-0. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy. But let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again, go play action, hit them over the top.
First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down. They go play action here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
The Steelers insert their nickel defense on third down.
Yeah, they add a DB. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And this is caught by Watkins. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. And a nice gain at 21 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you at important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
From the 32 now, here's first and 10. And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the first quarter of action. Plenty of scoring here already. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin as the Chiefs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. And they're on the move here. They've got it first and 10. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10. On first down, Mahomes. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, as the defense rallies quickly after the nice move. Bud Dupree, a former first-round pick, in on the stop.
That call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun, and they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
4 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, He's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Now a 1st down carry by Bell. And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Now it's Roethlisberger. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's James. That goes for a gain of 31.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, and now he bowls him over. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays.
Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. 3 first-half touchdown passes now for Ben Roethlisberger. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. This offense certainly looking a lot more comfortable here at home. They lost last week in the opener on the road, but there's something about that home opener makes you feel more settled.
Yeah, I wish we could quantify it, too, because you're playing the same game. The field's the same, size. We know all of that. But being at home, sometimes when you do things well, you get that extra push from your home fans, and it elevates your game.
And in the driver's seat right now. Boswell good with the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And the Chiefs now getting set to go. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, field goal, field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, Go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Mahomes going to hand it off to Hunt. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while. What
it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Throwing is Mahomes on third. And he finds Jace Amaro. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Mahomes now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Snap coming at 1, and it's Mahomes. This is caught. Watkins. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Mahomes to the former Rams, Sammy Watkins for the Kansas City first. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Here we go now. Green.
Here's Hunt. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays, exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. They'll give it to him up the middle. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This is a 26-yard attempt. And the kick by Butker is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes Ben Roethlisberger and the Steeler offense back onto the field. And how about the start so far, Charles? 3 first-half touchdown passes.
And that's how you generate excitement on a team. Keep your offense moving at a really high level. And it's also how you establish leadership, by playing that well. 3 touchdown passes, that's the way to lead.
Now he's just hoping for number 4. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. A reminder coming up at halftime, the coach is back. He made it through the first weekend. That's the good news, and he's going to regale you with stats and scores from around the NFL here in the early games in Week 2.
You think he questioned coming back for Week 2, having to work with us?
I think he did. He's just happy that he is far away in Orlando. On second down, Roethlisberger. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The Steelers on third down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. They'll run it now out of the gun. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Taking it about the 16. It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And a lot of times you talk about establishing the ground game, probably something they need to do more of here losing in the second quarter.
When you're riding your best horse, you've got to lather him up. The best running backs I've ever talked to, they've all said the exact same thing to me. I'll even break a good sweat until I get to 20 carries.
You're full of good wisdom. Let's see if they can get him into the game more now. Here's Mahomes to throw, and he'll walk one in there complete to Watkins. The 20, 10, and all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Sammy Watkins, his first touchdown of the new season, and the Chiefs strike quickly here for 6 points. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat, and I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. Extra point right down the middle, and that'll cut the lead to 21-17. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass, and that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. 1 play, touchdown. Butker now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And we put our focus now on Le'Veon Bell. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. Now it's Roethlisberger. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33, and his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Now we see Sammy Watkins getting ready to go again on offense. He's done his part, but so far it's been in a losing effort, so they've got to fix something.
But that doesn't mean changing anything, the way they're throwing the ball around and his catches and production. Keep doing that. They're going to have to fix some things likely on defense to try and slow down their opponents.
But so far he's north of 100 yards receiving. And he's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll be second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now here's Mahomes. He's got Watkins on the out route. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Mahomes now 13 out of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a first down.
Ready, blue 45.
Throwing now is Mahomes. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Mahomes to throw once more. On target over the middle to Hill. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you're throwing so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
Green 90. Green 90.
Mahomes looks to throw on 3rd down. He'll leave it for Hunt, complete. But he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now. And again, it's Mahomes. This is caught by Hill for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill in the final seconds of the first half. And the Chiefs are a 2-point conversion away from tying this thing up.
And that's a terrific score. And now, what are we going to do here? Do you go for 2?
You know what the people at home want.
Everybody wants to go for 2. The analytics people probably want them to go for 2. I bet they kick the extra point. We've got a whole second half left to play.
Now we get a look at it here, but hey, whatever the case, big-time play before the end of the second quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And that will get them one closer. That time a 6-play drive. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. Butker now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Bell. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3? The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. On second down, it's Bell. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, I've got to give him some credit there. He tried to sell the out route. He tried to sell it hard. And as a receiver, what you're really trying to do is maneuver a defender inside to give yourself a little more cushion breaking to the out. But how about the defender reading it really well, not buying the fake or the maneuver inside, and getting to the sideline and helping break up the pass?
Fielded just inside the 20. Out comes Patrick Mahomes in the Chiefs offense. And he's been pretty good, and we see some of his good play, but I guess maybe he needs to be a little bit better right now. They're down.
He does look good in the spotlight, though, doesn't he? He does look good in the highlights, but that's not what truly matters. And right now, as a team, they've got to figure out what it's going to take to get back into the lead. He has to continue to play well, has to keep rallying the offense. The defense has got to pick things up a little bit. And I don't think there's much animosity between the two sides. On the really good teams, both take accountability and try and figure out how they can do more to get their team on top.
Yeah, well, he's doing his part. He's been good. They'll start with Hunt on the ground. And down he goes just beyond the 35. And that pretty move got him some extra space to run. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll run again with Hunt. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. And give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Only a pickup of 2, but that's all they needed for the first.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there. But there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Now they'll throw with Mahomes. Caught here by Conley. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. This is Kerwin Williams, his first carry. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Artie Burns, the cornerback, brings him down.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Again, it's Bell. And now running right through it. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
And that was just situational football 101 right there. Excellent decision to throw that one away. You know he would have loved to have converted right there, keep the pressure on and build on this lead. But the best play, avoid the sack, taking care of the football.
And now here comes Kansas City. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it second down. On second down, here's Mahomes. Caught out left side by Robinson. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City first down. Now a play fake here on first down. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. T.J. Watt in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
He digs him partway out of the hole that they're in. It's an 8-yard gain, and it makes it 3rd and 12. Flushed out right, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. T.J. Watt in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. Here's Dustin Colquitt now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off here by Anthony Hitchens. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Patrick Mahomes on his way out for their next drive. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the third quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far.
Delay of game, offense.
Play clock hit 0. Don't know what went wrong there, Charles, but it's going to cost them 5 yards.
Has to be some organization from the sideline. Sometimes when you're trying to decide on what play to send in, the play caller has to move a little bit faster.
Mahomes to throw on second down. pass incomplete.
Whenever they're trying to attack a zone defense, you're trying to figure out where your gaps are going to be. And depending on what type of zone they're playing, it could be on the outside, it could be in the middle, it could be in the seams, in the edges. In this case, they tried to attack the middle of the field, but this zone defense didn't allow it because they were able to see the ball come off the quarterback's hands, and everyone was able to react to the football and knock it away.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Bud Dupree coming in to drop it for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything, so it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Set! Black 30!
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh, and we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the 4th. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 14.
4 down, check, 4 down, set, Black 20.
From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Throw left side complete. That's Bell. And down he'll go at the 25. It'll be a gain of 9, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll punt it away for the 4th. Oh, they come after him, and it's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. And how big is that play, Charles? A field goal puts you in the lead. You get the block punt. You're already in field goal range.
And now you have to think a little bit farther, don't you? Congratulate everyone. Everyone feels terrific about the play. But if you kick the field goal, you leave them right in striking distance. You want to try and put it in the end zone and make them come back and get you and need a touchdown to go back in the lead.
Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. They were forced to punt last time. Now, I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot. Great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down. Great change up there on the route and got that inside release, made it a successful pitch and catch.
Well, the first thing you want to do is have him thinking that you're going outside, make a move in that direction. Then you really don't run the route against the whole body of the defender. You run against a half of him, and the inside half, and he took it right across his face, got inside, and won that route in a big way.
On 1st and goal, they'll try the option left. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
So often you hear defensive coaches talk about we need all 11 on every play in order to be a good run-stopping unit. And sometimes it starts to sound a little cliche. But did you see the free safety on that play? Knifing through and running down the ball carrier. A huge, huge play. And when you have a free safety who can run like that, you've got to turn him loose.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. He's at the 50, 30, 20, 10, 5, and nearly a touchdown as they finally stop him down at about the 3-yard line. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased. They'll be glaring at him. How'd you not score?
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. And it's caught. It's Brown. Touchdown Steelers. Big Ben with his 4th touchdown pass of the afternoon. And the Steelers capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. But what a quick turnaround there. They get the football. Next play, boom, touchdown.
I've been in a situation before where a turnover occurs. If you're over on the bench with your defensive mate and you talk about what to do on your next series, and all of a sudden you hear sudden change, you've got to get out on the field and defend right away. Not everyone is mentally prepared to go.
Is that what is yelled on the sidelines a lot of times?
That, among other things.
Maybe some words we can't share here.
Yeah, we'll just keep this one PG.
FCC violation.
No doubt.
Out comes Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs offense. And the interception that ended their previous drive, that might be one we look back on and say that was the turning point of this game.
Hey, partner, guess what? There's still time for a few more turning points in this ball game. They're only 1 score down.
Yeah, true. We could have some twists and turns. Stay tuned. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he will not get all the way home, but he will take this back down to about the 2-yard line. Agreed, that's twice now in this 4th quarter.
As a quarterback, a lot of times you think it's all on you to make plays when you're losing. And here, the play's not there, but he throws it anyway.
The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. They've got to be saying, boy, thanks for this field position.
Yeah, remember their last drive in which they scored a touchdown. That one also began in excellent field position, so let's see if they can capitalize a second time.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll try and run it in with Bell. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Now that was a terrific play. We're down here near the goal line, and only one word comes to mind.
And it's caught. It's Brown. Touchdown Steelers. How about Ben Roethlisberger, his 5th touchdown pass of the afternoon. And the Steelers capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead is up to 15 now. Boswell on now to kick this one away. Patrick Mahomes on his way out for their next drive. With his guys trailing here in the fourth, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near-perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors, yet still play perfect football.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That throw good for 4. It's second down. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Delay of game, offense.
Play clock all the way to 0. Didn't get the snap off. 5-yard penalty.
And you see the head coach writing that note on his play sheet right now. He's going to be addressing that with his staff. A sense of urgency, get to the line of scrimmage, snap the ball.
Here we go. Green, 39. Green.
To throw, it's Mahomes. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Here we go now.
And there's a completion to the tight end, and look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by the rookie Terrell Edmonds. And he's able to bring it up 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
You know, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them, every move they make works, it clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic and people wanting to put a little contact on him. Really well done.
So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. Here's Jordan Berry now. Remember, though, he did have one blocked earlier. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And now here comes Kansas City. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. They give him a gain of 37. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Mahomes now on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Nothing flashy there. The slant to the slot.
Oh, and the frustration for the defensive guys, because it's a quick play. And you know...
And he's got it. Touchdown, Chiefs. As his guys are in for 6, and the Chiefs are able to draw a bit closer. And now in a 9-point game, they'll still just need to go for 1 here. Extra point splits the uprights as this gets them back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Butker now to kick this one away. To return, it's Cam Sutton. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. First carry for James Conner. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Called it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. And now here comes Kansas City. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Here we go. Blue 45. Blue.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. And his throw is incomplete. Chris Conley, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
The out route's such a timing route that sometimes the guy throwing the ball just throws it almost blindly, just kind of counts on that timing winning. And in this case, the ball was batted away.
Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down.
Blue 45. Blue.
They go play fake. Mahomes. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. On first down, Mahomes. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Hill. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. Now it's Mahomes again. And he's going to drop this off to Williams. Complete. No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
Goes to Ware on the screen. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. And he finds Jace Amaro. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. He got 29 yards that time. He's back to throw. And is it a touchdown? No signal. No, they say incomplete. The way he's throwing the football today, almost a surprise when he doesn't complete a pass like happened there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's thrown it leads him to believe that he's going to get those completions. And that means the guys going out for passes, they'll run even harder because they expect it as well.
Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Chief linemen might have moved.
Offense.
The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
Back to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to hold that one in.
9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Back to throw. That's complete right around the 8. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down. Now Mahomes got to have this one. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. So a tough pill to swallow there. A would-be touchdown pass in and out of his hands on 4th.
Sometimes it just comes down to execution, doesn't it? Because we're always questioning, should they go for it, should they not? Is it the right play call, is it not? In this situation, everything was right, except for the finish. You have to catch the ball and convert.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet.
Let's go.
They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. And not much here as he'll get it to the 11, maybe the 12-yard line. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Roethlisberger will hand to Connor. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And the knee is taken for the Steelers out of the victory formation. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense as it comes with 1:04 left to go in the game. And the knee is taken for the Steelers out of the victory formation. Roethlisberger dropping to a knee, and that ought to do it. Good bounce-back win. They take the knee. Can't stop the clock defensively. Tough opening week loss, but now 1-1.
Shows that they handled things really well. A lot of teams panic after a week 1 loss, and they start to think that the sky's falling. This team realized there's a long season, and they feel very talented, and they get it done in this one.
One final try from Mahomes. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Pittsburgh, they make amends for their Week 1 loss by winning their home opener. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for the Chiefs, they will fall to 1-1. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against San Francisco. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.